Hello again, friends, and welcome to If This Car Could Talk. Today we're going to take a deep look into the 1966 full-size Ford line. By 1966, Ford Motor Company, along with all of their different domestic competitors, had been offering various cars from compact to full-size for the past few years, to meet the ever-increasing specific demands of both their loyal customers and buyers they hope to win over. The generation born immediately after World War II, known as baby boomers, were coming of age at this time and were eager to buy their own wheels. For the 1966 model year, Ford offered a Falcon to fulfill the needs of those customers needing a compact car. Next up, the Fairlane was the go-to model for those wanting an intermediate-sized car. Bigger than a compact, but not quite a full-size. Ford big car buyers had the Custom and Galaxie-based models. Of course, because the muscle car wars were in full swing, Ford offered performance models from each series except the Falcon. Station wagons were also positioned in each market segment as well. Wagons were a big part of Ford's sales totals. Since the 1950s, Ford called themselves the Wagon Master, a title they richly deserve. Each station wagon offering could easily be identified to their respective series. The full-size Ford station wagon series for 1966 included the Ranch Wagon, which was the base trim level station wagon for 1966. The Country Sedans were the intermediate trim level, and the Country Squires were the top trim level. The trim paralleled the Custom 500, Galaxie 500, and Galaxie LTD model of Ford's big car lineup. The Ranch Wagon was only available as a 6-passenger model, whereas the Country Sedan and the Country Squire were offered in both 6- and 9-passenger versions. All three series had their model identification attached to the rear quarter panels in a cursive script. Curiously, all station wagons featured single exhaust, regardless of engine. Two more models worth mentioning are the Thunderbird, a car now available in 3 distinct body styles, and the highly successful second-year Mustang, also available in 3 different body styles. Additionally, Ford had light trucks, medium, and heavy-duty as well, ensuring that they could fulfill every new vehicle buyer's requirements, no matter what they needed. The popular "Is it a car or is it a truck?" Ranchero would be part of the Falcon series for the last time this year, a position it held since 1960. But the topic of this video is Ford's full-size line of hardtops, sedans, convertibles, and wagons for 1966. There are 19 separate and distinct models to cover that we'll list specific information for, referenced by both the VIN codes as well as the data plate codes. But what if your car is missing its original data plate or has a replacement door with the incorrect data plate? Fortunately, Ford lists the specific make, series, and body type in the VIN as the 3rd and 4th alphanumeric digits. Most series had a choice of 16 exterior colors and a limitless selection of two-toned combinations. Interiors also came in many complementary colors, and depending on the series, had all cloth, cloth and vinyl, or all vinyl interiors. Most options seen on the extensive option list could be ordered for most of these models. The case-by-case exceptions for each are just too numerous to go into here. And likewise, drivetrain options were plentiful too. It was very possible, factoring all these things together, that a custom-ordered car of any series and models would be one of a kind. While 1965 and 1966 full-size Fords look similar at a glance, everything externally is different except the hood. Underneath, both years share most of their mechanical components and structural sheet metal. For 1966, Ford chose to make their higher series cars more easily identifiable by designing a 2-piece die-cast grille for the 500XL, the Country Squire, the LTD, and the 7-liter models. The two-piece grills at first appear to use identical sections, but upon close inspection, you can see they are distinctly different. All the others utilized a simpler, one-piece stamped anodized aluminum grill. All 66 full-size Fords rode on a 119-inch wheelbase. Now let's start the review of each model from the most basic to the most luxurious. This means the custom models will kick it off. Only available as a 2-door or a 4-door sedan, most customs ended up as fleet sales cars for government use, as police cars or taxi cabs, maybe a rental car, and as company cars. Although it is undoubtedly part of the full-size Ford family with many shared components, the custom series were built specifically for buyers wanting Ford's rock-solid dependability and reliability, but at a phenomenally low price. These cars all had minimum trim, including the deletion of any side window trim. But chrome windshield and rear window moldings were seen because the glass was retained in its channel by a seal, which was secured with the chrome trim. On the exterior, these two body styles were easily identified with a chrome cursive custom ornament on each quarter panel. The taillights had square lenses surrounded by a chrome die-cast housing. The Ford name appeared in block letters across the front of the hood and across the vertical section of the trunk lid. Inside there were 2 sun visors, a chrome horn ring, and armrests on all doors. However, an option list of drivetrain combinations, power accessories, comfort and convenience items, plus 16 different exterior colors meant that even fleet customers could order their cars with some nice options. Next up, buyers could select the Custom 500. Still a very basic car, the Custom 500 series was the upper-level trim series of the Custom and included a 2-door sedan, a 4-door sedan, and a 4-door ranch wagon. Like the Custom, these cars were popular with the same types of customers. All 3 models did have a bit more exterior trim than their Custom counterparts, most noticeably on the sides, rear, and side window areas. On the cars, there was also a horizontal chrome strip along the side feature line with a special ornament seen on both front fender sides near the front. The Custom 500 ornaments that were seen on each rear quarter panel used the same custom emblems from the lower series cars, but with an added 500 in a chromed outlined rectangular extension of the custom emblems. Out back, the sedans all utilized the more handsome tail lamp assemblies of the Galaxie 500 and 500 XL series. The interiors were also a bit more comfortable, with full carpeting replacing the Custom's rubber mat and all 4 armrests seen with integrated ashtrays. Standard power for both Custom Series cars was the second-year 240 cubic inch inline 6, with a column-mounted 3-speed manual transmission putting the power to the ground. They could be ordered with any available Ford engine and transmission if the right boxes were checked on the dealer order form, including the thunderous 427 cubic inch 425 FE Big Block. But by now, pony cars were what most customers of performance-type cars were buying, so very few muscle cars were built on the big car platform. It's worth mentioning here that Ford engineers completely revamped the chassis and suspension design of their full-size models at both Ford and Mercury in 1965 to use coilover springs at all 4 corners with a 3-link type suspension bringing up the rear axle. Ford called the rear suspension links control arms. This design meant these cars handled better and rode a bit softer than their predecessors. It would prove to be ideal for racing too. In fact, this type of arrangement is still used in NASCAR even today. The next model in the hierarchy of the Ford full-size car in 1966 was the Galaxie 500 series. There were more body styles and trim levels available in the Galaxie 500 than in any other series, and all these models combined to be the top sellers this year. They were available as a two-door sedan, a four-door sedan, a two-door hardtop, a four-door hardtop, a two-door convertible, and as a 6 or 9 passenger wagon. This was the intermediate trim level for 1966 and included all the custom trim plus a chrome hood ornament. Ford crest in the feature line moldings on the front fenders, stamped aluminum rocker panel moldings, and a stamped aluminum insert between the two chrome strips on the horizontal section of the trunk lid, with Ford in block letters spaced evenly across. Two-tone vinyl trim was used on the inside of the doors and on the seats. Simulated wood appliques were used on the instrument panel trim pieces, along with a handsome chrome horn ring. Also available as an option was the simulated wood sport steering wheel, also seen on Fairlanes, Mustangs, and Comets that year, featuring each model's insignia on the horn button. The Galaxie 500 XL was the sporty trim version of the Galaxie 500, two-door hardtop and two-door convertible, and included all the Galaxie 500 trim, plus bucket seats available in several colors in an all-vinyl motif, along with a floor-mounted shift lever. Polished door trim panels with carpeting on the lower portion of the doors, dual-lens courtesy lights in the lower door panels, rear C-pillar mounted reading lights for the hardtop cars, and Galaxie 500 badges on the body exterior. The 200 horsepower 289 cubic inch V8, along with the Cruise-O-Matic automatic transmission, were the standard powertrain in this series. The next series in the hierarchy of models for the 1966 Ford full-size line is a luxurious LTD. Making its debut the year before, this model was now simply called LTD, instead of what Ford identified it as in 1965, when it was known as the Galaxie 500 LTD. This beauty included all the Galaxie 500 trim, plus the 200 horsepower 289 cubic inch engine with an automatic transmission. The seats and the full carpeting were thickly padded, and Ford used some of their finest materials inside, along with simulated walnut appliques on the lower edge of the instrument panel and in the door inserts. A gabardine finish headliner and matching sun visors. Front and rear door courtesy warning lamps. Courtesy lamps on the rear interior roof pillars and under the instrument panel. A glove box and ashtray lights, and a self-regulating clock. The LTD was only available as a two-door or four-door hardtop. A special Galaxie 500 edition was now available called 7-liter. To showcase Ford's new for 66 428 cubic inch FE Series Big Block V8, now called the Thunderbird 428 because of its optional availability in the Thunderbird series, as well as Galaxies, it became a popular Thunderbird option. As a side note here, the 7-liter package was seen in the Galaxie lineup the following year, but it was an option package, not a standalone model. The 7-liter was a luxury performance model, sometimes called a banker's muscle car or gentleman's hot rod, and it was fitted with the larger displacement FE engine, a new 345 horsepower 428 cubic inch Thunderbird V8 as standard equipment. There was also a police version of this engine introduced this year with a stouter camshaft and bigger combustion chambers that made 360 horsepower, and it was called Police Interceptor. It was designed for high-speed police work, but could be ordered by the public according to the brochures and catalogs of the time. I've been around these cars for over 40 years, and I've never seen one, but that doesn't mean anything. Utilizing the bucket seats and console from the top trim level 500 XL series made these cars very sporty. They could only be ordered as a two-door, hardtop, or convertible, with either a new for 66 C6 3-speed console-mounted automatic transmission or Ford's legendary 4-speed manual transmission, known colloquially as the top loader. Since the 7-liter was using a metric displacement and also using the European spelling of the word litre, the name hinted at Ford Motor Company's total performance era involvement of motorsports racing throughout the world. At Ford for the past 3 years, they also had another 7-liter engine that was used for racing dominance on drag strips, NASCAR tracks, and road courses the world over. It was the legendary 427 cubic inch monster, a phenomenal race engine that was not suited for daily commutes. Sporting either a single 4-barrel carburetor on an aluminum intake putting out 410 horsepower, or the dual quad carbureted 425 horsepower version, these engines use solid lifters and only manual 4-speed transmissions. These two 427s were technically an optional engine for the 7-liter models, as well as most of the other models in the 1966 Ford full-size car lineup, except for the wagons. Additional features of the 7-liter is a non-silenced open-element air cleaner assembly that was identical to what the Hypo Mustangs and the Fairlane GTs used. Popular options for any Ford product were ordered for these special cars, like an AM radio and power and convenience accessories. Finally, the new for 66 power front disc brakes were standard, but were also available optionally for any other full-size car that year. Other engines available for the full-size 1966 models were Interestingly, the 352 4-barrel was the smallest displacement V8 that had dual exhaust. Depending on the series and engine and transmission choices, were a 3-speed manual, a 4-speed manual that was floor-mounted or console-mounted, and the new C6 3-speed automatic that was seen as both a column shift or a console shift. All rear axles were 9-inch models, available in several ratios with or without a locking device. 1966 was also the first year for emissions reduction systems on various engines for California sold cars. The 289 2-barrel and 352 4-barrel were the only two engines that could be ordered with a manual 3-speed overdrive. The famous Ford blue engine color was used for the first time on the main components of the engine, including the cylinder block, heads, valve covers, the intake manifold of cast iron, the air cleaner assembly, the timing cover, the water pump, the oil pan, and the emission tubes. Well, that concludes our look of the beautifully styled 1966 Ford full-size model lineup. I think they're among Ford's most handsome offerings during the 1960s. They still look great today. Let us know in the comments if you have any memories of these wonderful cars. Which is your favorite model and why? Or maybe you have one now. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And thanks for watching. We appreciate your support.